Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. So in this video, we will continue looking at JavaScript and we're going to be starting a second timer task. So if you checked out the previous video, we did something like this where we had the numbers counting down from 5 to 0. And now what we're going to be doing is changing some pictures every second. So it's going to be something like this. So when you click this button, we have the pictures changing. It's like simulates a circle or thing going around. Then we're going to stop it and then start it again, and so on. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Now, you need to make sure you got the pictures saved in the same folder as your HTML file. So let me just call this time 2 or time 2. Okay, save as. In the same folder where you've got all of the pictures. Okay, done. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the body section first of all, as we do. And we're going to create a place for the picture to go, so img. Okay, and I want to give this an identifier, so equals pic 1. Okay, and the source, we're going to get the first picture showing, so src equals, and we've got the first picture S1. You can see S1 is going to be the first picture from our folder. So we can just type in here S1. So it's really important you guys are saving the work into the same folder. I think that's it for now. And we're going to have two buttons. One's going to start this animation, you could call it, and one that's going to stop it. So button, we can call this, say here, start. And stop. And the buttons will be calling on some functions in a moment. Okay, so for this one here, the stop button, what we can do right now is type in here on click. Location, reload, open and close the brackets, and this will basically refresh the page, so it will stop it. We can only start the animation when we click this button here, and that will have to refer to the function that we're about to create. So if I show you what we have so far, save. So we have the two buttons. Nothing's going to happen yet, so and it's no animation yet. Let's start with the script now. Just make a bit of space for myself. And what we're going to do is create a function now. So function, and I'm going to call this countdown again. So quite similar to what we did in the previous video. Countdown, and then open and close the curly brackets. Okay, again, we're going to be using a variable as a countdown. So var variable, you can call it counter, and I'm going to set it to 6 initially. Okay, and then we need to set the time interval that we're going to be using for the switch statements, which will be checking the counter value, and if it's true, we'll be outputting a certain picture. So let me type in here set interval, and then timer. Let me just type that again, just 1 second. I just want to show that description. Sometime it came up last time. Set. It's not working out. Well, we had the description. So it's basically, I'll explain what's going to happen if you haven't seen the previous video. Timer. And this works in milliseconds. So 1 second is 1000 milliseconds. So we can leave it as that. Okay, so we have that done. And then what we want to do is have another function inside. And the second function is basically going to be checking the value of each counter and the value of the counter against a certain set of conditions. And if the conditions are true, then a certain picture will be displayed. And this will be done after a 1000 milliseconds, after 1 second, basically. Then after another second is gone, we're going to be, this next function will operate again, and we'll check the value of the counter, and we'll check against another condition, and obviously numbers will be decreasing, so the second picture will be outputted. We'll see that in a second what's going to happen. So let me type in another function. I'll call it timer, as I did in the last video. Open and close the curly brackets. Every time we run this function, we want to decrease the counter by 1. So this will be coming from 6 to 5, and then 4, and then 3. And this will be at time intervals of 1 second or 1000 milliseconds. Right, we've done that. Okay. And in this instance as well, guys, what I need to do is I want to reset the counter when it reaches 0. So if counter, let me need to do that again. If, I'll open up the brackets for the logical test, you can call it, counter is equals to 0. And if that's true, then we want to basically reset the counter back to 6. Okay. Right, now what we're going to do is, let me close this. Have I opened up the curly brackets? Okay, let me just put that in there. So just make sure you are doing things right. So if that's true, if the counter is equal to 0, then what we want to do is basically reset the counter to 6. Right, now it's time to do the switch statement. So switch, and we want to check the counter. Okay, that's the variable that's going to be checked. And let's open up the curly brackets. And again, it's going to be case, if it's equals to 5, then document get element by ID. And what we want to do is change the contents of this picture from S1 to S2. So the ID here is pick1, so we just type in here pick1 dot src equals, and then speech marks, s2 dot jpg. Okay, and then we want to break that. Then after another time interval of 1 second, 1000 milliseconds, the counter is going to be reduced by 1, so it's not going to be equal to 5 anymore. So remember, it starts off at 6. We take away 1. So this will be true in the first instance. Then after a second, it'll be the next instance which is true. So let me copy and paste. 4. And we change it to the next picture. Then after a second, the counter is reduced again. S4. 2. S5. And when we get to 1, we're going to return the original picture. You can see S1. And let's see if this is working. Right, let me zoom out a little bit so you can have a quick look at this code. And I hope this is going to work. Okay, but I don't like these random spaces. File, save. So if I click on start, it's not working. So let me double check why it's not working. Okay, we got, oh, silly me. I haven't got the on-click part here. I thought it was something more serious, but this is quite basic. Just going to copy and paste this. So I didn't have the function to call the function when we click the button. I hope that's it. I hope there's nothing else. Yes, it's working. And it's still looping. Yeah. So once it gets to 0, the counter just resets to 6 and keeps going. And to stop it, there we go. It starts looping again. So we can make it loop again. So click on the stop. So we're basically flipping between pictures, and what's happening is the variable is counting down. The counter is being reduced by 1 after 1000 milliseconds, that time interval. Okay, and then we check in the value. If it's equal to 5 on the first cycle, then we show the second picture in this ID, which is up here. And in the next cycle, after another 1000 milliseconds, we reduce the counter again by 1, and we show the next picture, and so on. Okay, so let me just save everything. And we've come to the end of this tutorial. Please drop your comments below, like and share. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.